All right, let's talk about it. We are diving into one of the most common and, let's be honest, most frustrating fitness puzzles out there. That's stubborn belly fat. It's a topic that is just flooded with myths, but today we're going to cut right through all that noise and get to the real science behind why it's there and what you can actually do about it.
So you're putting in the work, right? You're really trying to eat clean, you're showing up at the gym, but that fat around your midsection, it just refuses to budge. It can feel like you're fighting a losing battle, and honestly, you're not imagining it. There's a very real biological reason for this, and it's probably not what you think.
For decades, we've been fed this one simple line. It's all about calories in, calories out. But listen, if that were the whole story, this problem would have been solved ages ago. The real key, the thing that changes the game, isn't just about counting calories. It's about understanding the powerful hormonal signals that are telling your body exactly where and why to store fat.
And that brings us to our first major revelation. The conversation we really need to have isn't just about the amount of fat, but the type of fat. Because deep inside your body, there's a specific kind of fat that poses a unique and hidden danger.
It's called visceral fat. Now, this is not the soft, pinchable fat that's right under your skin. That stuff is called subcutaneous fat. No, visceral fat is totally different. It's a deep internal fat that literally packs itself around your vital organs. We're talking your liver, your intestines. You can't see it, you can't pinch it, but its impact is huge.
And here is why this is so important. Visceral fat isn't just sitting there doing nothing. It is metabolically active. Think of it like a little rogue factory inside you, constantly pumping out inflammatory substances that mess with your body's normal functions. This is exactly why it's so directly linked to really serious health issues, like type 2 diabetes and heart disease. So this isn't just about how you look, it's a serious health issue.
Okay, so if visceral fat is the problem, what's causing it to pile up in the first place? Well, this is where we get into the really cool stuff, the secret signals, the invisible hormonal forces that are driving this entire process behind the scenes. So, the driver number one is something we all know way too well: chronic stress. You know, in the short term, stress is a survival tool. But when it becomes constant, day in and day out, the messenger hormone it uses, called cortisol, starts to really work against us.
This shows the chain reaction perfectly. When you are constantly stressed, from your job, your life, you name it, your body thinks it's in a perpetual state of emergency. So it pumps out cortisol, that emergency hormone. Cortisol then sends a loud and clear signal: store fuel for the coming crisis. And where's the most convenient spot to store quick access fuel? You guessed it, right in your abdomen, near the liver. The direct result? More visceral fat.
Okay, next up is our second major hormonal driver, and this one is all about what we put on our plate. We're talking about the massive impact of sugar and refined carbs on that powerful fat storage hormone, insulin.
Let's walk through this process. Every time you eat a high-sugar meal, your blood sugar skyrockets, and your pancreas releases a flood of insulin to handle it. But if this happens over and over again, your cells start to get tired of the message. They basically ignore the signal. That's what insulin resistance is. So what does your body do? It just shouts louder by pumping out even more insulin. And chronically high levels of insulin are a direct command to your body: store fat and store it around the belly.
And finally, let's talk about a driver that so many of us completely underestimate: poor sleep. Seriously, a lack of quality sleep just throws your entire hormonal system into absolute chaos, and it directly messes with your appetite and fat storage. I mean, the data on this is just incredibly clear. Study after study shows that the less you sleep, the more visceral fat you tend to accumulate. Getting less than 5 hours of sleep a night can dramatically increase belly fat compared to getting a healthy 7 to 8 hours. It's a direct, measurable, and powerful effect.
So now that we actually understand the real drivers, let's go ahead and bust some of those common myths that cause so many people to just spin their wheels, wasting their time and energy on strategies that just flat out do not work.
This is the big one, isn't it? The belief that if you just do enough sit-ups or enough crunches, you can just melt the fat right off your stomach. But is that really how our bodies work? And the clear, scientific answer is a hard no. This quote says it all perfectly. Spot reduction is a complete and total myth. Look, doing crunches will absolutely strengthen your abdominal muscles, which is great, but it will do literally nothing to burn the layer of fat that's covering them. Your body loses fat from all over, not just from one specific area you're trying to target.
Okay, so if crunches don't work, what about endless hours on the treadmill? Surely, just doing more and more cardio is the key to burning off that belly fat. right?
Well, not so fast. And this is a really crucial distinction. While some cardio is definitely healthy, excessive long-duration cardio can actually increase your levels of the stress hormone cortisol. Yep, the very same hormone we know contributes to belly fat. On the other hand, strength training does something incredible. It improves your body's sensitivity to insulin and it builds muscle, which boosts your overall metabolism 24/7.
Okay, so we've busted the myths, we've identified the real root causes. Now let's pivot to what actually works. The science-backed solution isn't about some magic pill. It's about an integrated, much smarter approach. Here it is, the 3-pillar strategy. First, manage your stress. This directly lowers that fat-storing hormone, cortisol, and this can be as simple as a 10-minute walk outside. Second, balance your nutrition. Focus on protein, fiber, and healthy fats instead of sugar to keep your blood sugar and insulin stable. And third, move smartly. Prioritize full-body strength training to make your body more metabolically active. Do you see the theme here? Each pillar is designed not just to burn calories, but to fix the hormonal root cause. This table just ties it all together so well. Let's look at it. The problem? Stubborn belly fat. The root cause we've been taught to believe is a lack of willpower, but we now know the real root cause is hormonal imbalance. So the solution isn't frustrating diets or pointless workouts. The real solution is an integrated lifestyle change that fixes the hormones directly.
So, if you take one single thing away from this whole explainer, please let it be this. This is not a failure of your willpower. You are not lazy. This is a matter of biology. Your body is simply responding to the signals it's being sent by your stress, your food, and your sleep. And understanding this simple fact shifts everything away from self-blame and towards empowerment.
And that really brings us to our final thought here. What if your body isn't fighting against you? What if that stubborn fat is just its way of communicating that something is out of balance? It's sending you a signal. So the real question is, are you ready to stop fighting and finally start listening?